Hello, good morning everyone. My name is Mariam Al-Qasim Abubakar. I'm here to present my KD topic, Modern Integrated Development Environment. These are the outlines we are to discuss on. The introduction, what is an IDE, history of IDE, types of IDE, more, which are the multi-language IDE. IDE is for mobile app development and cloud-based IDEs. IDE is specific to operating systems. Then the modern integrated environment, difference between old and modern IDE, benefits of using the modern IDEs. Then the drawback of using modern IDEs, conclusion, and then references. In the early days, this is the introduction. In the early days, when computer programmers developed a program or computer software, they use a text editor like Notepad, Vim, and WordPad. When computer programmers used text editor to write an application or program, they have to first save the program, edit the text editor, and open a compiler for the program and compile a program. If the program has many errors, they have to write down those errors they encountered from the program while writing the program. This is tax, and it also wastes valuable time that a computer programmer can use to write other softwares. It takes much time than using the modern IDEs. To minimize time wastage and minimize the productivity of a computer programmer, integrated development environments were introduced to have the minimization of all these such kinds of things that were happening before. This is the reason of why integrated development environment was created. What is an IDE? An integrated development environment is a computer application that encompasses all tools a computer programmer needs. It has all necessary things which a programmer may need to provide while developing a software or an application. It provides programmers and developers a comprehensive set of tools for software development. It has a built-in compiler, a text editor, also called code editor, a debugger, and many other programming tools like automation tools for software testers. This reduces the motor work that computer programmers will make from moving a text editor to a compiler or other programs like testing applications and back to the text again. History of an IDE. This is the history of an IDE. When IDE started. In the early 1980s, a company called Bellend Limited got their hands on a Pascal compiler from a programmer called Anders Hegel. Bellend Limited integrated a text editor to the compiler and released it the name Turbo Pascal. The idea of Turbo Pascal was to have one application with a text editor that could compile Pascal program without needing to install a text editor and Pascal compiler separately. They developed this Turbo Pascaler to have a good programming and also do not have a installed text editor and also the Pascal compiler itself. Turbo Pascal is not considered to be an integrated development environment. It is considered to be the software that brought up the concept of IDE. The first integrated development environment was created by Microsoft. It was called Microsoft Visual Basic. Microsoft Visual Basic was developed in 1991. It is the first integrated development environment with a graphical user interface (GUI). Before the development of integrated development environment with GUI, computer programmers and developers could not see what they were doing till they compiled their program. But with the advent of Microsoft Visual Basic, graphical developers and design become a reality. Types of IDE. What are the types of IDE? We have some types of IDE like multi-language IDE, IDE for mobile development, cloud-based IDE, and IDE specific to operating system. Multi-language IDE. Multi-language IDE are integrated development environments that support one but many different types of programming language. Support one, but it has many different programming language that roll in it. And also this IDE comes integrated with different types of compilers for the different types of programming languages. Any types of programming languages, it has its own compiler. The IDE is known which compiler to use based on the extension the project is saved with. For example, if the compiler is saved with a .py extension, the IDE knows that it is supposed to use the compiler for Python when the project is being compiled. There are many IDEs that support multi-programming languages. Some examples are NetBeans, Visual Studio Eclipse, Acnad, and Commodore, and many more. The one that I'm more familiar with, I can say it is Visual Studio, which I use it to make an example for the multi-language IDEs. In Visual Studio, you can rule many kind of programming language like C#, C++, and F#, and many other types of programming languages. IDEs for mobile app development. This IDE are specifically designed for mobile developers. It is used for mobile app development only, not other development softwares. They do not support the development of applications or projects that are going to be used on the web or on a computer. It only allows for the development of applications that are going to be used on a mobile phones and tablets. Example of such IDEs are Android Studio, PhoneGap, and Accelerator. Example of IDE for mobile app development. This is the studio that is used for the development of Android. It is used for Android development only, not other applications or projects that are in other computers or something. Cloud-based IDE. These are IDEs that were built and can be used on the cloud. This is useful for computer programmers and developers to access their projects and code from anywhere and with many computers from across the world. Some examples of these IDEs are Nitrous and Cloud9 and Heroku. IDEs specific to operating system. This type of IDEs can only be used on a single type of operating system. They usually are used to build developed program for a specific operating system. Visual Studio is an example that can only be used on a Windows. It's mostly used for developing applications on Windows. Visual Studio is also a multi-language IDE because it supports C++, C# and F# and Visual Basic. This is the reason why Visual Studio is a multi-language IDE. Another example of an IDE for operating system is Xcode. Xcode is an IDE that supports Objective-C programming language. It can only be used for creating iOS and Mac applications. Modern integrated development environments. Integrated development environments were started to be created since 1991. Newer IDEs are being created for the past 3 decades. Examples of a modern IDEs are Visual Studio, NetBeans, and Eclipse. Difference between modern and all IDEs are modern IDEs support multiple programming languages and automatically generated some codes, drag and drop, auto-complete coding, and snippets. Benefits of using modern IDEs: code editor, compiler, and other tools in one single software. Use frameworks, compile programs automatically, auto-completing and code snippets and auto-generate codes. Automatically generate documentation, title knowledge of programming needed. Drawbacks of using modern IDEs: it takes a lot of memory space, uses a lot of processing power. Some IDEs do not allow direct access to a database. Learning how to use the IDE. Programmers and developers become bounded to the IDE they use. Hard to find source of a problem. Conclusion: using a modern IDE will reduce the time and cost of developing an application or a program. It reduces the complexity of the project going to be created by the developer or programmer. A computer developer or programmer does not need to move to different software to create an application. All those tools that programmer needs, tester or developer needs can be found in a single software, the IDE. These are the references.